Yo, what's up? This is Jonathan, and tonight I'm in the Universal City Overlook in Los Angeles, California. Tonight, what I'd like to talk to you about is something that if you have a blind spot in this, you're going to, quite frankly, annoy a lot of people. So what I'm talking about here is learning how to look at a situation and see what a person's agenda is so that you don't block their agenda. Because every time you block somebody's agenda, that's inconsiderate, and you may actually annoy them, you may actually create negative social capital with them, and ultimately they may not like you. You're constantly going against the grain, and that's gonna cause you a lot of social issues, it's gonna cause you a lot of issues in your relationships, it's also gonna cause you a lot of issues in life. This is the unseen world of somebody's agenda. Now, in a nutshell, you could think of human behavior in this way. To simplify it, whenever we take action on something, there is a reason for it. Now, it may be a compulsive action, say a habit or some sort of unconscious behavior, but usually when something is a decision, it's a conscious decision, the reason we are deciding to that action, committing to that action, is because we want something in that moment in time. Every single thing that you do when you're motivated to do it is caused by something you want, okay? So this is the unseen world. If you've ever taken an acting class before, this is the first thing they teach you. Every single character's action is motivated by a desire in that moment in time. Now that desire may change around rather quickly, and it's your job as a playwright to have a very clear idea of what that desire is so that you can move the story along. And this is also where drama comes from. Usually drama is two people having conflicting wants and they're fighting against each other to try to achieve whatever that is. Now it might be an overarching want, or it might be just something small in the moment, but either way, drama simply stems from two people wanting the same thing and fighting over it. This is called conflict. They say that anytime a new natural resource is discovered in a country, it's very common that there's going to be some kind of conflict or maybe even a civil war in that country. For example, diamonds. They found a diamond mine in Sierra Leone that immediately sparked up conflict. People started fighting each other for it because many people wanted the diamonds. They wanted the value, and of course it's going to create conflict, right? You could even argue that every single war was about resources, as messed up as that sounds. Now, of course, that's cutting out all of the philosophical or maybe even the religious reasons, but you could argue a certain percentage of the people who are initiating that war are doing it strictly for resources, right? So that's kind of an intense example. Now, how does this apply to you? First and foremost, I think you want to be aware of what you desire in every moment in time, because you may have behavior that baffles you. If you can think hard enough about it, you can discover that desire and you can identify it. For example, maybe you're hanging out with your boss and you start, I don't know, your posture gets better and you start pretending to be like a hard worker or something. You speak with a different voice, right? Now, to someone who knows you really well, they know that's not your natural character. They may think that's silly. You may not even be aware that you're doing it. That stems from you not understanding the desire to do it. You're probably just trying to impress your boss, and that behavior manifests through that desire. Does that make sense? So at every moment in time, you probably want something. Now, it doesn't have to be something you have a strong desire for, right? Like if you're thirsty and you're in the middle of the desert, if you see a glass of water, that desire is going to be strong. But it could just be, say, you wake up in the morning and you desire to walk over your phone and shut off the alarm. That's much less of a motivation, but you're still motivated by something you want to do in that moment in time, okay? So this is important to understand for your own personal self-awareness. Now, the second part of this is to see this in other people. Understand what other people's desires are so you don't get in the way of those desires. Let's say it's somebody at work. If you and a coworker, let's say you both desire a promotion, right? But there's only one position available for that spot, and you two may start to hate each other simply because you both want the same position. And you're gonna rationalize that person's a bad person, and blah, 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 there's all this drama, but it really stems from this one thing. And if you guys weren't working at that same company, you might actually be really good friends, but your brain tricks you into thinking this person's a bad person because they're competition for that limited resource, right? So it's important to be aware of this. Now, if you do have drama with somebody at work, it's smart to try to find a win-win outcome, right? A shared mutual goal, so to speak, where you can both achieve your goals, both acquire that desire that you want. You can both get what you want. That would be the ideal. So whenever you have conflict with somebody, always think about, how can I turn this into a win-win situation, okay? But first and foremost, you have to be able to see it in other people. And you can usually tell what somebody wants. One, listen to what they're talking about, right? What do they usually talk about? We're only gonna pay attention to things that we value. So if we're talking about certain things, or we're painting a particular narrative when we talk or tell a story, that reveals a lot. That lets us know what these people desire or what they find valuable, because they're paying a lot of attention to it, right? Another thing too is just look where they're looking. If they are hungry and they're looking at your food, what do you think they desire there? They may not tell you, they're trying not to be rude, but at a deeper level, they're hungry. They want some food. Or it could be they want your position, so they're trying to get you fired or whatever it is at work. So always be aware of what people's desires are. Same thing if you're trying to meet people when you're out. Say you go to a bar, you're trying to talk to a girl, but she's on her way into the bar. You may be her 10 out of 10 perfect person, but at that moment in time, her agenda is to get into the club. And if you get in between her and the club, she's gonna categorize you as an enemy, right? She's gonna be like, oh, I don't like this person, just get away from me, person. I'm trying to get into the club. It's probably a better idea to talk to her when you're both in the club. She's already achieved that goal, right? There's no longer a desire to get into the club. I hope this makes sense. So with that, I'd like to encourage you to pay attention to yourself, your own desires, and look at other people. What is it that they desire? That way you can create more harmonious relationships with people in your social life, as well as your work life, and just overall more win-win situations where everybody can win. That would be the ideal, okay? So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button or little notification bell, and I'll send more videos your way. Peace.